Hello everyone and welcome to these new videos on solidity. In these old videos and upcoming videos, we'll be exploring solidity and where do we write solidity, how do we implement a smart contract, the compilers, and all the examples related to solidity. So, if you want to head into Solidity and you are absolutely new, head on to docs.soliditylang.org. That is the official website and it looks like something that is on your screen right now. So, what is Solidity? It is an object oriented, high level language for implementing smart contracts. So, it is much like Python or Java because all of them are also high level languages and are object oriented too. But what are smart contracts? Smart contracts are programs which govern the behavior of accounts within the Ethereum state. So, what are smart contracts actually is they are more like, say, a class which has some kind of code written in it that defines the behavior or governs the behavior of accounts within the Ethereum state. You'll understand much more about smart contracts as we move forward. So, Solidity is a curly bracket language, more like Java, and designed to target Ethereum virtual machines. It is influenced by C++, Python, and JavaScript. You can find more details about which languages Solidity has been inspired in the influencer section, but don't worry. Let's go ahead. So it is statically typed, suppose inheritance, libraries, complex user-defined types, among other features. So in the upcoming videos, you'll go through what is Solidity all about, what kind of data types does it use booleans, integers, floating points and whatnot, right? And also we'll be taking care of functions, how they are defined, and libraries involved in Solidity, all of that. With Solidity, you can create contracts for uses such as voting, crowdfunding, blind auctions, and multi-signature wallets. When deploying contracts, you should use latest release version of Solidity, and don't worry, you'll get along as you go ahead. So, ideas for improving Solidity or these documentations are always available and you can contribute because it's an open society, and if you want to know more about Solidity, you can hang around on Twitter and maybe some forums related to Solidity which are available online. So how do we get started? If you're new to concept of smart contracts, we recommend you to get started by digging into Introduction to Smart Contracts that is written in Solidity. So you'll create a basic simple smart contract that is written in Solidity. You need to get some blockchain basics because here's where it's hosted, and some Ethereum virtual machine basics. So, if you want to get to know Solidity a bit, we won't be going directly into smart contracts. First, let's see what is Solidity all about by getting an example or something, and you can install its compiler as well. But let's see by going down here the contents and the basics. So, introduction to smart contracts, and you can see that there's a simple example for that we've already seen. Now there is the list of compilers for Solidity, and the most famous one is Remix that I use myself. It's very easy to use and handle as well. Apart from that, there's Docker, npm, node.js, versioning, all these things. And these are some famous examples of Solidity, that is voting machine, blind auction, etc. Next, there is a simple introduction to smart contracts, and you can see an example of a basic smart contract. So, for license identifier, we write this code first, that is pragma, solidity, and the version of the license, right? The identifier. Then you declare a contract like this that has a starting and ending curly braces, and you write contract simple storage, that is the name of the smart contract, and within that you can define your functions, your variables, and what kind of work do they do, right? So we have a uint, that is an unsigned integer, and it has a name called stored data. Then we have a function that sets the value of stored data, the variable, to x. Then we can always change the value of x defined like 1 2 3 5, whatever it comes into uint, right? Then there is a function that helps to get the value of stored data, that is to print the value of stored data, right? So this is your basic simple smart contract that you can implement. And of course you can just go ahead and copy, or maybe you can just click here and open it in Remix and try and play with it on your own. Now let's go ahead and understand what this documentation say about the above code. So the first line tells you that the source code is licensed under GPL version 3.0. Machine readable license specifiers are important in setting where publishing the source code is default. So it's very important that you write in the first line, that is the source code is licensed under which version you are currently using. The next line specifies the source code is written in for Solidity version 0.4.16 or a new version up to the latest versioning of the contract. Then, to ensure that the contract is not comparable with new breaking compiler versions where it could have behaved differently, pragmas, the first word that you use, pragma solidity. So pragmas are common instruction for compilers about how to treat the source code. So it's a common instruction for compilers. Then a contract is a sense, in the sense of Solidity, is a collection of code. So as I said before, it has functions, it has data types, it has variables, and that resides at a specific address on Ethereum blockchain. The line uint store data declares a state variable called store data of type uint, that is the unsigned integer of 256 bits. You think of it as a single slot in a database that you can query and alter after calling functions of code that manages the database. So in this example, contract defines a function using get and set. So the getter functions are those that are used to get the values or print the values of any particular variable, while the setter functions are those which are used to set the value or like assign some value to a given variable. We'll understand those in the upcoming videos, but just for that, to access a member of current contract, you do not typically add this dot prefix, you just access it via its name only. Unlike in some other languages, omitting it is not just a matter of style. So it's a syntax there. So this contract does not do much yet apart. So it just sets a value only, allowing anyone to store a single number that is accessible by anyone in the world without a way to prevent you from publishing this number. So anyone could call set again with a different value and override your number. So here, this whole thing comes into play of blockchain, that in the whole world anyone can override it, but it's published on blockchain means that blockchain keeps a record and the number is still stored in the history of blockchain, so you'll get the record of each and everything, that when and who changed or override that number. We'll see that in the later videos as well. So I hope the small little tour into Solidity world was interesting for you. Do check out on the Solidity official website and also go on GitHub to check out the different examples and try them yourself on Remix. And if you have any doubts, do send us some comments, and you can always hang around on our Twitter official handle. And till then, keep learning and stay tuned.